Oh, good afternoon. I've got a little visitor again today. She's just decided she's going to come and join us, but you're going to have to move, aren't you, Mind? Bless her. You're going to come over here. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Let's get rid of all the cat hairs. So, how are we all today? My name's Lisa, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I am the face behind Lisa's Loft. What a beautiful day we've got. We have here. Perfect blue sky, not a cloud anywhere. Bit chilly. There was a frost this morning, but that's gone. Apparently it's 7 degrees out there, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it's beautiful. Just a shame I don't get any of the sun here. We've got a north facing garden, so I don't get any of it. But anyway, it's nice to look out and to see it. So do pop on and say hello if you're watching live, or hashtag replay if you're catching this later. I do like to read all your comments. So today we're going to be looking at the Floral Delight Suite. I've been sharing this suite all week and will continue to do so. But this is a gorgeous suite. It's not my norm. The colours aren't my normal go-to. But I think because it's so fresh, it just spoke to me in the catalogue. It was one of the ones that I was like, when I was having my first look through, I was like, oh, that. And yeah, I think it's because it's so fresh and spring-like, and we're all ready for spring, aren't we? Me, I am definitely. I've really had enough of my garden looking drab. It's horrible. The grass needs cutting desperately because I missed the last cut. There's lots of wet, drab horribleness in there. It's a nice green, but you know, yeah, it needs to dry out. Because we struggle down this area because we don't get any sun. And there's the fence that side, and that side the veranda sticks out, so it's quite sheltered down this bit. So we struggle. We get a lot of moss. We've got a concrete base outside the patio doors. Don't know why it's there, because this used to be a window. We had the French doors put in, so why there was a concrete base put, I don't know. They decided that's what they wanted. And then there's a bit of a flower bed, which I've crazy paved with. When we first come and got rid of the pond, it was the paving that was around the pond. I just stuck it in there to try and keep that down a bit. But yeah, we get a lot of ferns growing here, and I do get some plants, and I get wild poppies, but yeah, we struggle because of the moss with it being so wet, unfortunately. But never mind. My mission this year is to do this area. I want it so I can, because the concrete base that's there is big enough to stick a chair on, and I just want to have a chair, sit there. I'm not a sun lover, so if it's warm I'd rather be in the shade, so this area suits me better. Yeah, and I've got some old step ladders that I acquired off a neighbour up there, and I've got some galvanised totes. I've got to think about galv. Love anything that's galv. Del brings me a lot of junk home from work because it's galv. Yeah, I love it. Just something I like to have around, especially in my garden. So yeah, anyway, enough about my garden. We're not here for gardening, are we? Let's switch cameras and we'll have a look at this suite. So it's the Floral Delight Suite, and there's some gorgeous samples in here. It takes a lot of pages. Mine's ripped out. But the suite contains the stamp and die set, lovely ribbon, and some little bee trinkets. We'll take a closer look at all these. And then you've got speciality vellum and the papers. I have used a lot of my papers. Because yeah, I do love this suite. And then there's a lot more inspiration over the next 2 pages as well. I mean, how simple is that? But I love that. Just 2 pieces of vellum and die cut flowers. It's beautiful. So let's have a bit of a closer look at what we've got. These are to die for. They're so darling. Little tiny. I've got my light in a different place today and I'm not sure how well it works. But look how tiny those are. And they are just gorgeous. We had some very similar before, but they were bigger. And they were a little bit too big for some cards, I felt. Right, the ribbon, sorry, Mind, is this gorgeous, I think it's an 1/8 of an inch, if I remember rightly. Yep, 1/8 of an inch, 3.2 mil. Hello, Mind. Satin ribbon, but it's gorgeous. And it ties lovely bow. Really dainty. But yeah, so that's gorgeous. And then we've got the stamp set. Come on, Mindy. Come on, miss. Stamp set and the dies. And some of the dies cut out the stamped images, like this one. It's 2-step stamping for those, and then that stamps, die cuts out that stamped image. So you get the base colour and the detail. You get the wishing to die cut out thin, and then a background for that. I love sentiments like that are layered with the background. We've got the little banner for cutting out the extra bits of the sentiments. We've got a branch. We've got the leaves for cutting out the leaf, and the flower for that flower. And then these are all standalone dies. That's a background to cut out some bit of detail in the background, where you can layer on top to make flowers. I might, yeah, here we go. I've got some here that I made earlier that are left over. So yes, so it's really pretty, gorgeous set. And then I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, sorry. And then we've got the papers. Like I say, I've used a lot of my papers. But we've got this one. It's ditzy, and the pattern on the back. And then this that's almost a Hessian with the yellow and white flowers. It's almost like a blossom, isn't it? I think like an apple blossom. This one I've been cutting up to cut out flowers, and it might be this one that the dies cut out. The actual dies that are standalone ones. I know there's one that it cuts out, but it's definitely not. Maybe not. Maybe not. I can't remember. But yeah, it's really good. Fussy cutting and a gingham. And then we've got this one with the big flowers. I don't know what they are. They're beautiful. And we've got the green, like textured Hessian stripes, and more little blossom. That reminds me, we've got one in our garden that's very similar to that, and it's like a honeysuckle kind of plant. And then we've got this one with the blue background. That might be what it cuts out, actually, looking at it. And then the little tiny Dixie. They're not actually flowers. They're just little bits, like blobs with leaves. So, but that's nice. So yeah, that's the paper. And then we get the vellum as well. And you do get 2 of each sheet on all of these. So we get that one with lots of blossom. We get the gingham. I can't really see that too well. Can you put that behind? It helps a little bit. The gingham and the flowers. And I believe the die that cuts out the multiple flowers cuts out that as well. So yeah, there's some really pretty papers. Like I said, not my norm, but it's just super fresh. And we're going to go back to our card sketches that are in our manual catalogue. It's been a while, so I thought we'd do this one today, and we can use some of the papers for that. But I'm going to add to it. So first of all, excuse me, I'm going to bring in a card base, card front, which is 10 centimetres by 14.4, standard first layer for me and my cards. Go back in. And then we want papers to go on there, and I'm going to cut another piece of cardstock to mount them on. And I am going to do it I'm going to do it in white, and I've got some bits of white here that may do. No, here's this bit. And I want that 9.5 by 14. Hope it's not long enough. I thought that piece would have been perfect. And never mind, I can get another one. But actually no, I'm going to change that because these are American sizes, aren't they? So 9.5 is 1.5 centimetres smaller. I'm going to complicate things. Let's, yeah, 14.4, which is my first, and that's 10. I'm confusing myself here. So I want, so that's only slightly smaller, and then we've already got a border, so I will discount that. I've got 9.5, and we'll go 1 centimetre smaller. No, so we'll go 9. See, we can all change our minds as many times as we like. Right, so I'm going to go 9 by 1.5 less than the total. So it's 13.4. My brain's not with it today, as we can probably tell. Full of cold. I started to get a bit of a headache, but I was hoping it'll be okay. Right, so we need 2 pieces of paper, and I'm going to use one of the vellums, and I think I'm going to use that vellum, I think, with one of the plainer papers. That's too much. Too much. Green. Oh, we could have some gingham or some hess. I'll go for gingham, I think. Yeah. See if I can get pieces out of this that we need. So I'm going to cut 2 of these at 4.5 square. 4.5. And then put it in this way, just because it's easier for me to see. And I can cut 4.5 there, and then I can do another 4.5 there, and that has given me my 2 squares without putting too much into that. And then for this, I'm going to cut straight up at 4.5. You can't see what I'm doing, can you? Straight up at 4.5, and I need 2 pieces of this at 9.5. Maybe. No, I'm going to change it, aren't I? I'll fill that, because I want it slightly raised. And then, how much is left? So, what did we do that? See, don't think I should be here today. So that's 13.4 minus 4.5. So that's the 0.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 8.9. Should be. And it is. So is there enough for 8.9 there? Oh, look at that. It was made to be. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know today. I'm not right, am I? Not right at all. Ooh. What that is. Something off the cat, no doubt. Right, so we need to stick this on. Now, vellum's terrible for showing the glue through, so I'm going to put tiny bits behind the leaves because they're darker, in the hope that that won't show too much. But we shall see. It might be a mistake. I might have been better going in the centre of the flowers. So these are just going to fit onto there nicely. If we do get a bit of overhang after, which I think we may on the gingham, that's okay. We can trim it It seems to have worked well on the, that might be a bit too much on the flowers, but if it's too much we can always take it off and add it onto another piece. So it's just tiny little dots, because it doesn't need a lot of glue. The glue is super sticky, and there's not a lot of weight in it. We can line that up there. It's not fitting exact because of the thickness of the trimmer, the cut line, me being able to see, me being me. Yeah, I'm to blame. I'll just glue those on. Perhaps would have been easier for me to just stick to the measurements that were on there. But like I say, that's for an American size card base, not English or European A4. Hi Michelle, hope you're well. We're just playing with the Floral Delight Suite today because it's very spring-like. So we'll just cut some vellum and some paper, and then I'm going to trim it where it slightly overlaps. Just to keep it nice and square. These mini guillotines are fabulous. I so wish we could sell them again. You never know. But if you can ever get your hands on one, they're perfect for doing these little tiny slivers. I mean, you can cut tiny on the normal trimmer, but I find for me, I can cut neater, smaller with that. Right, so there is our panel. And then I'm going to grab a white card base, because I'm going to keep this quite soft. I haven't got any made. We will make ourselves a card base. So I'm going to score. No, I'm not. I'm going to score at 10.5. I'm not doing very well today, Michelle. I can't. Numbers aren't right in my head. I'm struggling working things out. Score at 10.5 and cut at 14.9. And that'll give us our 2 card bases. And then butt it up against the edge and fold. And then we'll just give that a burnish. That's not the right one. Just give that a burnish. So we've got a nice crease. The sun is out here, so your spring light. I know it's gorgeous, isn't it? We've not got a cloud in the sky here. It's like totally different to what it has been. So yeah, it's just a shame it won't last long. So that's going to go on there, but we will do it with dimensionals. I want it to stick up. I'm liking putting lots of dimension on my cards. Not good if you post your cards, obviously, because when they've got lots of dimension to them, they don't fit through the tiny slither that Royal Mail allow you to have. So they cost more, but if we're going to all the effort of making a beautiful handmade card, I'm going to pay that little bit extra to have it posted. And yes, I'm using an abundance of dimensionals, because I don't want it soggy in the middle. I'm just going to take these off over the bin so that I don't end up with them everywhere. Mindy's coming back. Mindy, you're going to have to move off there, sweetie. I've had a delivery this morning of some new stuff. A lot of it is supplies for class. Because classes are going well. Come on, sweetheart. Oh no. You can have some fuss after. So I needed more supplies for those. But I did get some stuff just to play with. There we go. So that's on there. And then we're following this sketch, sort of, but that's just got a banner on with a sentiment. Well, I want to add a little bit more to mine. So I am going to do some stamping. So I'm going to grab flower stamps and get some blocks for those. It's almost like blossom. We've got our flower stamps and our leaves. We need... Hi, Hayden. Okay, sweetheart. Our leaves will fit on there. I'm not sure if... oh, well. And our twig, branch, whichever you want to call it. Right, so I'm just going to grab a piece of card and my stamping foam mat, because these are photopolymer. And we're going to use, what colours? Daffodil Delight, definitely, because it's Daffodil Delight in there. And it's Lemon Lolly in the actual... In fact, we could go white, couldn't we, with the flowers? Not stamp them. If we just do them white, they'll stand out better than yellow. And then just do Daffodil Delight on the actual filling piece, the detailed stamp. Because that stamp will just stamp them. In fact, we'll do one of each. So we'll grab the Lemon Lolly. So we'll have that in Lemon Lolly. See, I'm very indecisive, more so than normal. That in the Daffodil Delight. Then we need a green, which we'll use Old Olive. I can't remember what colours are actually in the suite. What brown do they use? Do they use a bit of peach pie, pool party, pecan pie? So we'll stick to what's in the suite for now. And we'll grab pecan pie. Right. I'm going to stamp my twig. I'm going to do that twice. And then I'm going to stamp my leaves. Maybe not, because I don't know where they're... Oh, they come from there, don't they, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure where. Let's stamp our flowers. Now I think they go this way. There's a... On your actual stamp, the one end, there's what a flower bud that's just a V, and I believe that goes at the top and lines up with the top of the twig, and then the others fit in around like so, I believe. That's how it's done. It fits. Now this one, I'm not going to stamp that bit, and I'm just going to do the second bit. Right, let's pop this over here. Excuse me if you see my head, I do apologise, but I just need to line this up over the top, something like that. That is not too bad. Now if I look again at where that, oh, I've just put that in the green. I don't want green. That's the problem with having too many inks open. Right, we'll just clean that off. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done today. Oh, I do feel a bit rough. Just can't seem to shift this sinus issue that I've got. I mean, I usually feel pretty anyway. But yeah, I've just got this sinus problem that every day I'm waking up even worse than normal. Right, so we're just going to do that like so. That'll just give us that, and then when we die cut it out, there'll be flyer, yellow, what, white flowers with yellow detail is what I'm trying to say. Dear, oh dear. Right, our leaves. See if we can get these on, shall we? See if I can speak properly. Right, so that goes up with the two at the top, and then they go around the twig branch, like so. I'll do the same on this one. Now thinking about it, when we die cut this out, it only die cuts the flowers. We're going to lose all the branch. That's why I am going to fussy cut it. See how this turns out. Got a feeling I'm going to scrap it and go for something totally different, because yeah, I'm just not feeling it so far, but we'll go with it and see. It might turn out tremendous, who knows. Until we've done it, we have no way of knowing, do we? It's not too hard to cut, really, to be fair, because they're all just like cutting arches mainly. Oh yeah, it's actually ending up looking better than it did when I started. I'm liking it more as we go. Might just go back and neaten up some of that first bit. Because I've not got it exactly how I like it. border's a bit big, but that's okay. It's best to do it too big and then go back and alter it, then go in too close and you're stuck with it. Oh, take that off, and then we'll just go slightly up there and round, and then we'll just neaten that bit up and this bit here. I don't go into all the cuts in between. I am literally just cutting around it. There we go, that's not too bad at all. Let's have a look. I am going to stick with the yellow one rather than the white. I will cut that out for something else, but yeah, I like the yellow one on there. And then we can have, I've got a flower here that I've already pre-done before for something else. And I quite like having, no, I don't like that one. No, I think we'll just keep it at that, and then we'll find the sentiment with our banner, and we can make that a bit smaller if we want to. Right, so for this one, we'll just put, I think I'm just going to put happy birthday. Now on here it's got UA because it's wishing you a happy birthday, but we can trim that off so we've just got a happy birthday. Where is it? There it is. I'll put that on a block. That's not very straight. It's better. And we've got a strip here on my stamping pan, and I'm going to do this in Old Olive. I'm just going to ink up the happy birthday piece. If you're not too confident on doing that, you can mask off the UA with a bit of masking tape or washi tape, ink it up and then pull that off. But it's quite a simple one to do. And I'll just stamp that. I've got a blob on that happy. Not like, you know, I think it looks on my stamp. I'll try it again. It could be me. Turn it over. And try it again, like so. That's better. Is it? I don't know, I'm not happy with it. Yeah, today I shouldn't be crafting, I don't think. There we go, perfect. It's me. We all have our off days, and today is definitely mine. But never mind. The thing is, it's not a problem. It's a piece of paper and some stamps, and we can redo it as many times as we need to until we're happy. I'll get some repositionable tape. Now, even though this is the repositionable tape that I've got, I find it can still rip the paper or the card. So I do take some of the sticky off before I stick it on. Alright, I'll run that through. So what I've done is lined it up to where I want it by the happy. So then we've got loads that side, which we don't want. But what we can do, take that off carefully, and can go in the bin, is if we reposition this inside here, the grooves will fit, and then we can reposition it along where we want it, which means we can then cut smaller banners that are the size we would like. I'll take that down there. I mean, you can leave it on a larger banner and have it in the middle, that's fine. But if you wanted to, it does give you the option to be able to trim it down. There's lots of different dies that we can do that type of thing for. I might carefully take that off and put that on the machine to use again. And there we have just a really cute happy birthday. I'm going to use some ribbon, I think. I'll have a nice bow. Oops. That was me practicing showing you earlier. I don't want it that size. I don't. Oh, actually, if we make it a little bit bigger, we can have it behind. Oops. Fingers and thumbs. Gosh, I can't think. I can't talk. I can't get my fingers to do what they want. And what a pathetic bow was that. Alright, I'm going to even those up and then chop that off. I've unravelled half of my ribbon. Oh gosh, it's caught now. Dear oh dear. I'm thinking we can have that behind, just to add a little bit more dimension to it. Yeah, like that. Do you know, it's surprising how different they look on screen to what I can see here in front of me. It's mad. Right, so we'll just glue that down onto there, and then we'll have some dimensionals on here. Because we've got the bow underneath, I'm just going to put dimensionals on the extremities. There's a word I don't use every day. Whether it's the right one, I know it means the ends, but yeah, it sounded good when I said it. Right, we'll pop that on there, and I'm using that line in my paper as a guide for where I want the tip to be, but I want it to come over. That needs to go more like that. There we go, like that. And then we can add a sentiment across here. So that will just stick on there, and I want a dimensional on that end. Right, take the sticky off there, and then we'll just pop a little bit of glue on there, and we'll pop that like that. Come on, stick. Just hold that while that sticks. There we go. Right, like that. And then we can, do I want the little bee trinkets? They are cute, aren't they? Do Do I want some of those, or are they too much with the ribbon? Too much with the ribbon. So I'm going to pull in the iridescent pearls, basics, just the white. I am really liking these. I do use these quite a bit. I'm just going to pop 2 together there. They take on the blue on here. There we go. And that is all sheet rope on that. I will do the inner because I'm making a point of doing inners. So we've got our standard front, 10 by 14.4, and I am going to stamp on the inside a bit of grid paper because I am going to go off. Right, let's see if I could not stamp in the wrong colour. So we will have a pecan pie. I'll just go there. Cat hair. Oh, turn it over. There's always a B side. Pecan pie for that. And then we will go on this one, which is our lemon lolly. And line that up to where we believe it goes, or somewhere near. And Daffodil Delight for our detail. That way. I think it makes all the difference putting some detail inside your cards. It just gives that finished look, I think. And then we'll pop that somewhere there. There we go. And again, if you go into the effort, there's a bit of glue on there. Glue rubber. There we go. If you go into that effort of making a handmade card, you know, why not finish it off by doing the inside? And what I'm doing there is, because I cut this piece of card that way up, and you cut lines, obviously, because it presses in, means when you turn it over, it's slightly raised. But if you just run your bone folder over it, it pushes it down. Just neatens it up a little bit, in my opinion. And like with everything that I say on here, Michelle says it ties it together lovely. It does, doesn't it, Michelle? Yeah. And I think it's a nice little extra for those, you know, the recipient gets that and then like, oh, what a lovely card. And then they're like, oh my gosh. You know, you don't expect to get a little bit more inside. There you go. There's our first card. Wasn't as quick as what it should have been, but we got there. So we've done that layout now. I'm going to tick that one off. We've done that one. I don't want that one for this, nor that. Trying to find one that I think will suit. I might just go with my own. We'll see. Right. So for this one, I'm going to use that. Yeah, I'm going to die cut those out. And we'll just end up with the flowers because it won't die cut the whole piece out. This is going to be a quick card too, she says. So that way, if we line that up best we can there. Okay. And then we'll be able to have white flowers with a yellow highlight rather than more yellow flowers. And this just picks them out like so. See, I mean, that's been used twice, and I did it on my top twice, that tape, and it's still stuck. So there's our flowers. Now we've got those. Oh, I want a panel of, in fact, I'm going to do a circle. Let's use a circle. And just for ease, I'm just grabbing the stylish shapes. That one, the second size down. And I'm going to do a lemon lolly circle, I think. Oh, in fact, if I do a white, then we can blend on it. Let's do that. I'll do a bit of blending. We like to do a bit of blending. I'll just cut one of those out. Basic shapes are so good to have in your crafty stash. I use them for so many things. These stylish shapes I love. I use them a lot. Okay, so we've got that, and we're going to do a bit of blending. So I am going to bring in a bit of scrap grid paper, and I want a blending brush. What colours? I think that'll be okay. I've got a bit of transfer from on next to it, but I think we'll get away with that. And I am going to do lemon lolly. Hopefully that'll be enough. Mind, really? There you go. So always starting off the paper or off your card. I think you don't get no harshness. And then we'll just go around there. So we end up with a light spot in the middle or towards the middle. It's just a variation on, rather than just a lemon lolly solid piece of card. That's it. I've just got something with a little bit more interest to it. There we go. I mean, you can always cut one out of lemon lolly and blend on that as well, and do tone on tone blending. Right, we've got that, and then we'll have those on it. So I'm going to stamp my leaves and my branch onto here. Mindy, you're a pain. Our pecan pie and our branch is going to go off, which is fine. I want it to go off the actual piece. Right, then we've got our flowers to pop on. In fact, stamp our leaves first, then we can pop our flowers on. Alright, so it's the two at the top that are more or less opposite there. Okay, let's go for it. There we go. We've got our leaves on there. Then we can start popping our flowers on. And I'm going to use a mixture of glue dots and dimensionals for these. Because glue dots give some dimension. But I don't want all of them to be as raised as a dimension make it. So I've just screwed a glue dot up there, popped on the back of there, give it a bit of a bend so that I can pop that on there. What's the matter? Angeline's not happy. Right, let's try and figure out where these go. That one is our big main one, I think. I'm just looking on our actual stamped one. Oh, no. Okay, so it's it's that piece. All right. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a bend, and I am going to add this one with dimensionals. I might put that one on dimensional. Yeah, we'll put it all on dimensionals. I don't know what's the matter with the dog. She's not happy. And then that fits in that way. And because I stamped this before and then I've cut it out of what I'd pre-stamped with the leaves and everything, it does mean that I'm able to match up the bits of the leaf that I'm on the stamp bit, the die cut bit, with that I've stamped, so there's no bits of the leaf missing. Like on that one, it's got a bit of the leaf on there and the twig branch, so I can line that up. Right, this one, because that's on the edge, that's a little bit, I'm going to do glue dot. Scrunch that up a bit and I'll glue dot that one on there. This one, I don't know which is which on here. I think that is that one. Yeah. And this one I'm going to glue dot. So even though it was a bit of a mistake, me stamping it all to then die cut it out and not need it, it does mean that I can line them up where they go, and also I'm not missing the bits that are covered. So it was a happy accident. That's what we say. A nice happy accident that was totally intentional, if I lie. Okay, there we go. So we've got a centre image there, and then I think we need that on some paper. I'm thinking, what would it look like on the green? I quite like it on that green actually. So I'm going to cut a panel of green. And we're going to have this. I think I'm going to do this 9. Oh. By it would be 14.4, so 13.4 I think. 9 by 13 before I haven't quite gone far enough, but we can join that up. I like that size panel, especially with it being a deep colour. We don't want too much heavy. Now that has got texture to it, but I do like the cane weave embossing folder, and I'm wondering how that would look. Mindy, you're really not. Thank you. I'll just pop that in there, and then I do need to bring in my larger machine for this and our embossing plates. Now because it's a 3D embossing folder, we just have our base plate and a plate 4. So it's 1 and 4 for this. I'll run that through. That just glides through there beautifully. Oops, I do find that a bit heavy doing it that way. Move all the way over there. Oh yes, I love that. We've got lots of texture going on with this one. And then, do I want ribbon? No, I don't think I do. I think we're going to add some twine. And we're going to go with linen thread. On this, and we've got a new, we've got a new one. I'll try and find the end. Aha, there we go. I'm going to do a double bow. Have a swig. Cold tea. Now, I learned a new way of doing double bows, because when I do them, I double it, which means I get 4 tails. I don't really want 4 tails, but Emma Goddard, the Coastal Crafter, she showed us this way of doing it. I need a bit more there. Let's wrap it round, and then no, see, right. Wrap it round as big as you want it, and then post that through. Maybe. Oh, I only want 2 fingers. Oh my gosh. Why can't I did it the other day? Wrap it round, post it through, round. Oh, I don't know. Something like that. And tie it in a knot. There we go. Yeah, that's it. Don't ask me how I just did. I don't think it was exactly right, but it worked. What? Oh. What have I done? 1, 2. Just not getting this, am I? Emma makes it look so easy, and the other day when I did it, it worked fine. Through there. I don't seem to. This isn't right. I'm doing it in my mouth, and I didn't have to do it in my mouth, but it's worked, so we won't worry. Okay. Go and watch Emma. She'll show you how to do a double bow so much better. Right, there we go. We got one, just not. Right, let's pop that on dimensionals. On that, on that. I'll have 5 on here. 1 in the middle. Okay, we'll pop that in the middle to the top, in the middle, thereabouts. Get that off to a slant, and then we can pop our bow on with glue dot. Squish that on there, and pop that on there. That's not sitting right. So I am going to pop it slightly underneath. It just wasn't sitting right there. There we go. That looks better. Just there on the edge. Card base. I'm going to go white. No, I don't think white's right. Let's try a lemon lolly. Let's see. That looks better. That's better. White's too stark for it. I'll score this at 10.5. Give that a fold and a burnish. Like so. We'll pop this on. Excuse me. Pop that on there. I love that paper. Put in that embossing folder. Because the paper's got the pattern to it anyway. And then adding that cane weave. And it distresses it slightly because the cane weave's 3D. Yeah, I love that. And then we can trim these. Sentiment for this one, I'm thinking of lots of love. Yeah, we can just have a lots of love. Very simple. White with green again. Keeping it simple. And I haven't used the best part of this suite, which is that wishing die. I mean, you don't have to. it just shows that, you know, there's that many elements that you can create beautiful cards just using a couple of them. I mean, we've used the same stamp for two very different cards, and then just a little sentiment. Right, so I'm just going to put this, line this up again where I want it. So that's at the edge. Okay. Pop that through. And I'll take that out. Take that off. And then we can pop it back in so that it lines up top and bottom. And then we can pull it to where we want it with the length. And that'll give us a perfect length die cut sentiment. Oh, Mum. What's wrong? I got the die too close to the edge. Yep. The die was lining up with the edge of that and it didn't want to take it all in one go. I can still use that tape again. I'll pop that on there like so. So I just want one there by the L, one dimensional there, and then we'll pop a bit of glue on there. Well, it's not actually stuck at the end. It's just stuck in the middle and that end. There we go. And then for embellishments, I think I am going to have a little bee on here. Just there. I'm only going to go with one. So I think that's all it needs. So we'll pop that on the glue dot. And then we can pick it up. And as we pick it up, it squashes the glue dot around it. So it's not, because the glue dot's bigger than the bee. And there we go. That's that one. And our inner for this one, we'll do something a little bit different. And we'll just do a bit of blending. To tie in with the front. And a bit more ink. Not a lot, but a bit. Across that corner. And I'll add this flower, the edges of this flower, the detailed for the slightly larger flower. I'm just going to add that in Daffodil Delight, just so that too matches in with what we've done on the front. sorry I've run over. I do try not to, though most weeks we do. Yeah, I think I need to chill. I've got to go shopping now. Food shopping. I hate food shopping. And then I'm coming home to relax. So there we go. That is our 2 cards for today. I've got lots of mess again. Why do I always make such a mess? I don't like mess. Mess is horrible. Oh dear. It's trying to rush. That's what it is. There we go. That's better. We've got some clear space. So yeah, there's our 2 cards for today. I'm going to put a bulb of glue under there because that's not holding. Oh, excuse me. Look, it's time for some paracetamol. Hold that down a second while that just gets tacky. But yeah, 2 very different cards, but using the same stamps. It's all we've changed, really, isn't it? The background's the same layout. I hadn't realised I've done the same layout, but yeah, just goes to show by just changing the background and your piece in the middle how you can cut the sizes the same, but very different. And then we've even got our insides done, so I've got 2 cards there ready to send to whoever I need to send them to. Right, let's just, both lovely cards. Thank you, Michelle. You're very kind. Right, so that's it for me for this week. I feel like going and shutting myself in a darkened room. Just, yeah, start the day again. But I have to go food shopping, as I say, so I shall go and do that and then come back and, yeah, maybe I'll sit and have a cup of tea and try and get my head together. But thanks very much for joining, and I'll catch you all again soon. Bye.